you want me to just keep talking like that, or you want us to keep
No, that's fine. We're live, back on the air with Mick McCormick again for part 2, I guess. It cut out, so hey, Mick, welcome back again.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
We're actually driving down I-80 right now, so it could have been us. I apologize for that, folks. But anyway, the point we're getting at was, NHRA is the one that makes the rules. They are out there actually trying to protect the drivers and the fans and the sport. So I can't stress enough how we want to bring the jet cars back. We want to bring them back safe, make them proud, so that we can be part of the show every time. And we have to have the backing of sanctioning bodies such as NHRA and IHRA to ensure and protect us and the spectators. So we keep running the cars for the fans. I love watching these cars myself. Of course, I enjoy driving them more. It's just an awesome spectacle of fire and smoke and noise that you don't get to see every day. So I decided I must play by the rules and finally go get my license and respect their wishes, respect their rules. Times have changed.
So tell us how it felt to get behind the wheel of a jet car for the first time, Mick.
How did it feel, or what made me do it?
No, how did it feel when you got back behind the wheel?
The first several, still today, I wouldn't say it's frightened, but it's definitely a spooky experience to have all of that power. You're strapped to it. There's no getting away from it. It's chasing you the whole time. But it's still exhilarating. It's still a rush as well, especially when you pop the chutes and they hit hard and you get that negative G. You're slowing down and you realize, once again you're safe. You're gonna stop. You're gonna be able to go do it again. I can't describe how exhilarating it is. Any speed junkie out there understands. They understand what I mean. When fast isn't fast enough, you always want to go faster.
Now, when you got licensed, who helped you get your license?
The folks that helped me out were Tammy Gatlin out of South Texas, or Rowlett, Texas, I believe her gang's from. She works out of the shop with Tommy O'Brien. And then Sam and Big Eyes out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. They were the two licensed pilots that actually witnessed my run, which was quite an effort in itself. NHRA makes you do at least 12 passes to get your license. I think we ended up doing like 17. We had a little bit of trouble. We built our own chassis. We tried to build it a little too lightweight, and it just wasn't up to par. And several other jet car drivers out there told us, hey, you're going to have a problem with the chute mounts on this car, etc. And we ended up having problems with the chute mounts on the car. So we went back, beefed it up, went through the whole car, and came back and finished our licensing. So we did it actually in 2 sections, made probably a total of 17 passes, which is a good thing. Because it was a new car, so we didn't want to just go out there and start racing if we wanted to get some shakedowns, and there's nothing better than repetition to kind of scare out all the gremlins. But we now have a good running, viable car. We actually have an event scheduled here this 4th of July weekend. It's June 30th and July 1st at Pittyville. We're going to run against Sarah Edwards at the Queen of Diamonds. So that'll be a little bit of a challenge for our first actual race in this new car. We had no time tuning or anything like that. The only seat time we literally have had in the car is the light thing. Maybe a couple shakedowns before. So we're excited. We got a challenge ahead of us, but I love that.
Now, in the jet car driver world, do you get a lot of advice from other jet car drivers out there?
Well, as we talked about before, I'm not sure if we got cut off, so I hate to be redundant.
Yeah, I believe we did.
The other jet car drivers, years ago, it was much more of a protective, the secret, nobody wanted to let out their secrets. There wasn't a whole lot of camaraderie. A new guy couldn't just go in and ask for advice and get much help, except for a few guys. There were a few names out there that I contacted many, and there were a few guys. There, Tommy O'Brien, Tammy Gatlin, Dickie Rosberg, Al Hanna. Some of those folks, they would give you honest advice and not let you get hurt. And then there were a couple other guys, Ansel Horton. He was probably my biggest mentor. He helped the most. He would give you information that helped you go fast. Whereas most of the other drivers, they wouldn't give away their secrets. What kind of pressure are you running, blah, blah, the size of the pipe and all that kind of stuff. Those were all kind of the trade secrets. And that's understandable. But now it's just, the times are changing, and everybody kind of wants it to be more of a professional motorsport. And I believe there's a little more camaraderie out there, and that's what I'm a huge advocate for. I want to see a jet car community that works together and plays together, lives together, has fun together. However, at the same time, helps each other. We don't want to see anybody get hurt. We cannot have anybody get hurt. That just gives us a black eye, especially the spectators. So, everyone's kind of, in my little group, in my little circle at least, everyone is worried about each other. They're out to watch out for each other. Make sure no one's going to make any critical mistakes. If there's a serious chassis design flaw, the other guys will say something. They'll tell you about it. Hey, don't do that. Or I've learned firsthand from some other drivers some of the critical things that have been learned over the years. There are an awful lot of guys out there driving cars that they bought the car, or their father raced the car. They're second generation. There's even a third generation racer out there now, and they learned from being around the sport. They understand. They learned everything their father knew and everything their crew chief knew from experience. And like I said before, the one hiccup we had was we had no formal training. We just thought it would be fun in an affordable way to go fast if we put a jet engine into a race car chassis. And it took quite a few years. We've been doing this 30 years now, so we've finally learned, but we learned the hard way. We never had incidents. No one ever got hurt. But I would hate to see someone get hurt nowadays just because no one would no one would help steer them in the right direction. So I want to kind of be an advocate for the maybe a new project, a new organization, a new association of jet car drivers, and if somebody's out there going to go pull a car, we're not going to stop them from building a car, so we might as well help them, because the only thing they can do is create competition, which is good, or worst case scenario, give us a bad eye, like a black eye. If they were to have an accident or something, because no one helped them out, then that gives the jet car racing a black eye, and the track owners kind of leer away from it again. Those are some of the things that happened before, especially with rocket cars and that sort of thing. So I want to help prevent that. I want to build the sport. I want to make it a good, clean group of guys and gals. A lot more gals in it now. I've got to race one of the better ones here, June 30th.
So your objective is to make jet car driving great again. Yes.
I want to make jet cars great again. Years ago, you went to the drag strips, you saw the Midnight Madness, the Night of Fire, the Smoke and Thunder show. There was always the jet cars, the unique. Some of them are a little sketchy, some are a little dangerous. But that's what filled the seats. That's what drew the crowds. And drag racing in itself needs as much help as it can get. And I'm a firm believer that the exhibition cars, the jet cars, the wheel standards, those are all on a rise. They're all coming back, and they're better than ever. There's some high-tech, sophisticated machines out there now. They're running big numbers. They're running, and they're doing it safely. We can make this group great again as long as we, band together. A little camaraderie. You don't have to give away your speed secrets, but we got to kind of keep each other in check and keep each other safe and not give the sport a black eye or get anybody hurt or worse, killed.
Yeah, well, jet car driving, I don't think there shouldn't be that much competition because the jets are exhibition, so, you just got out there to
play. Yeah, true, but there, there's competition, though. I mean, I don't want to get beat right there, Edwards. So there's going to be competition. Don't think there's not. There's a lot of guys out there now chasing pro mod. That the only way we can race dissimilar vehicles is if they're within the same kind of speed, so that you don't want to be coming up on a 10-second car at 300 miles an hour. So we have to race cars that are in the same bracket. And a lot of these pro mods nowadays, at the 8 mile, they're the good race. So you'll see there's a couple guys out there doing that now, and that's something we're interested in. And they're keeping up, and it's definitely competition.
Yeah, I had Robert Albertson on. He was the one that got beat by the pro mod recently.
yeah, and that Jim got beat. He's not going to allow to be hurt very long. He'll be back. He'll race another one and he'll win.
Oh,
he's got fast cars.
There's already a rematch plan between them two. He was telling me in an interview.
Yeah, I heard that. And it's going to be a good one. And the crowds love that kind of thing. That's what fills the seat. That's what sells tickets. We have a brand new track coming in up the street from me, Ottawa, Iowa. The online this fall, quarter mile, it's IH Ray, but it's a really nice facility they're putting in. And I hope to bring the same kind of excitement and attraction to that track. We'll do 8 mile, 1,000-foot, and quarter mile. And I'd like to do a lot of 8 mile racing with some of those same people.
Yeah, the PDRA.
Yes. It's incredible how fast them cars are going nowadays. It's exciting how fast the jet cars are going.
So what kind of fuel do you run on?
I run on diesel. It's not as volatile, much safer. There's a whole clean issue. The jet's got a bad rap about leaving residue on the track. Leaving oil, they oil down the track, or that's not true. Years ago that was true, but these engines nowadays, especially the newer cars, they run clean. My pipe, you wipe the inside of my pipe when I'm done with the run. There's no residue on your hand, so you can't tell me I left the residue on the track. Now we may redistribute the marbles that are been blown to the side of the track from cleaning and prepping and grooming. We may pick all those up and stick them all back over the place where the track needs to be re-swept. But we're not oiling down the track or coating it with a nice layer of diesel. That's not true anymore.
Now, how many crew members do you have for your jet car, Mick?
I use my better half, Kim. She passes my parachute. My son, Kyle, my oldest, he starts the car, and my youngest, Matt, fetches me. Chad Daly is my crew chief, and he kind of just oversees all of it. I need help strapped in, and I need help when I stop to drag the car back to the pit. So I rely greatly on my crew, and I risk my life. They pack the chutes.
Now, do you have any sponsors for the Miss Elle Jet Dragster?
We have one, the 1320 video. Kyle Loftus has helped make us, he's helping make us famous. The guy understands internet marketing, and he has done a wonderful job so far. The ball is actually kind of in our court now. Now we need to go out and push a little bit for him, which we will, and we are. But 1320 Video is our largest sponsor to date. And then, of course, Jacobson's Racing. John Jacobson is an old school chassis builder, very famous. Years ago, John had to stop and raise a family, so he got out of the industry and got a real job, he says. But now recently, kids have grown up and he's got back in. He's building chassis again. This Elle is the first chassis that he's built since this is coming out of the retirement. And it is a beautiful machine. The workmanship is far none. But we are definitely looking for new sponsors, and I'm a believer that you have to have a viable product to present to the sponsor before it's real hard to sponsor a car that kind of well, we've done a couple races, so we figure we'll go out there, get licensed, make a name for ourselves, run a few of the bigger, faster cars like Sarah Edwards, Queen of Diamond, and the Tulsa Heat, maybe even Bobby Alverson someday. Then we can go and approach. I have just a laundry list of potential sponsorships that I want to approach, but I want to approach them one time and with a powerful impact.
All right. So what's the quickest run time you've had with her?
The quickest the fastest, biggest mile an hour was about 270, I believe, 276. I'm not sure, and it was in the licensing process. The car's absolutely capable of much more, but again, brand new car. We were kind of tuning it as we were doing our licensing. So we'll get a few passes in, the next couple of weeks. Then we got a couple of events to do this fall, and by next spring we'll have it up towards 300 like all the rest. Fully capable of the speed. I'm going to creep up on it.
So the goal is to get it over 300 miles per hour?
Absolutely. And those cars are all capable of that. It's a lightweight car. But we're not out to rotate the earth anymore. That's something I enjoyed doing in my 30s. We now want to do a big fire and smoke and noise show for the crowd and lay down a respectable path. I'm real interested in doing a bunch of this 8-mile ProMod racing, batch racing, grudge racing, what have you call it, with a couple friends of mine. Because I, in my personal opinion, 225 or 8 mile is just the best 320 quarter.
So do you do most of all the mechanical work on the car?
Yep, I do all. Like I say, I'm untrained. I have no military background or anything like that. I kind of self-taught. I actually learned the J34 Westinghouse, which was kind of the dinosaur of engines. The thing was developed, I believe, in 1949. The engine I had was probably dated 60. But they just made a lot of noise, a lot of fire, and moved a lot of air. And they were capable of pushing. You can make a dragster go 255 all day long with one of those. However, 255 probably. However, nowadays, they're actually harder to find than the newer, lightweight, more efficient engines, which are a little more technically advanced as well. So there's a learning curve. I've actually damaged some parts, like I'm sure everyone else in the jet car industry has done the same thing, learning the hard way. But I'm self-taught. every aspect, from design and build the afterburner to replacing the hot section to complete overhaul of the compressor. I believe the most education I received would have been after the run, sitting around with the other jet car drivers talking about, what we just did or what just happened or how your car runs. I think that's probably where I learned the most, just in talk with the other guys, and that's why I want to kind of promote that, get that back to where there's a camaraderie between drivers. Some of the older, now there's some of them are just car owners. There's a lot of a wealth of knowledge out there. How they keep things go bad, and we're going to lose out on it if we don't tap into it. But no, I'm completely self-taught. I went up to Toronto, Canada, many years ago, and I put a J34 on the front of a locomotive for a rail company up there. And what they did was they used this J34 jet engine to melt the ice off of the railroad track. So they drive this locomotive down the railroad track, onto a switchgear that's frozen 12 inches thick, fire up the 34, put a little heat to it, and melt the switchgears. And I thought it was an ingenious, idea. Probably blew, rocks probably blew, but I never got to see it in action in the winter time. But I helped the people install it and run and show them, automate it, kind of make a little monkey proof and tested it a few times. In exchange for doing that work on the tracks years ago, and majority of them, fortunately, have gone and cleaned up or have the surfaces milled or machined and new asphalt, that sort of thing. So the old Kearney and the new Kearney are not the same track. Hell, the old Topeka and the new Topeka, I used to love KCRI down there in City International. It had a bad hump at the end, but there was a lot of track. I think the nicest facility I've been to now recently with the new car would be Tulsa Raceway Park. Big Don is a very well kept, nice. It's just a nice track with a huge shutdown. We had a chute failure at about 277 miles an hour, and we got the car safely stopped. We didn't even flat spot the tires with no parachutes. So it's plenty of shutdown. Clean, friendly. I want to say my vote is probably Tulsa Raceway Park. However, I'm going to have to be biased because this new facility that they're building up in Ottawa, Iowa, is going to be excellent. They've got a lot of money behind it. It started out as an airport, so it's already nice. That I'm sure is going to soon be my favorite. But right now, Tulsa, Big Don, go see him.
Have you ever been to the 4-wide track yet?
Say that again, Dave?
Have you ever been to the 4-wide track yet?
No. That would be so incredible. I'm so envious of Rockford, of the people that get to go play down that way. But one thing we do, this is purely shits and giggles. We are not going to travel 2,000 miles to go race. We don't have the budget. Don't have the need. And there's not enough cars in my area. I'm based out of Omaha, Nebraska, and there just simply aren't enough cars in this area to feed the spectators and the demand in this area. So I have no need to go very far. I mean, of course, don't get me wrong, my bucket list would be 4-wide and Indy. I would love to go do Indy. But that's just more stuff, that's not because those tracks are lost or anything. I think it's just more reputation. They fight the glory of it. Within 250, 300 miles of my home base, we've got a for mom and pop tracks, we've got Topeka. We've got this new Horick, Ottawa Race Center, Brainerd, Kearney. There's numerous quarter-mile tracks as well as mom and pop tracks that we can go and run at and have just as much fun. So we're going to kind of stay in our little area. We're going to actually try to call out some other drivers. Do a little smack talk, see if we can get some grudge races, grudge jet racing. 8 lives from Tulsa. Come up here, let's see what you got. Call Bobby Albertson in. Let them come to us. This is our track, and see if they can dethrone the queen kind of thing. It'll be good for the audience. It'll be good for the track, the spectators. It'll be a lot of fun. And it'll bring some of the better cars to the area.
Yeah, maybe you can call Scotty Heat out there.
Oh yeah, he'll definitely come to these posts up.
He goes over.
We'll have to throw a banana. We'll have to stick a banana in his tailpipe to beat him. But yeah, exactly. Guys like that. He's probably the closest that I can think of.
Yeah, Scotty goes over 300 miles per hour usually.
Yep. It's exciting watching guys. They're a little bit different class. They've been doing it. I mean, I've been around it a long time, but I had to stop, raise my kids, got completely out of it, sold everything, raised my kids. Now my boys are grown up and moved out, got their own lives, so I figured let's get back into it. That's where my buddy John Jacobson and I built the new jet car. Decided we'd get back into it. So we're actually kind of new to the sport again because it's changed. Like I said, I'm 52 and I just got my NHRA license.
Yeah.
But don't take that the wrong way though either. I've got several hundred passes under my belt, and I believe I know what I'm doing. I just need to get the car to the same level.
Maybe you can call out Jim Jet Nielsen.
I don't know. Where's he from?
He's in Florida now.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of cars. I mean, you're lucky living where you live, You're 500 miles closer than I am. The East Coast, there's so many cars. It's down south. There's so many great cars. But they've been doing it for years. No one comes around this area very much, but just because, I would imagine the fuel. And there's not a large facility. There's not a large draw. Topeka's the closest large track to me. And they have jet cars, but they only have a couple of times. That's another thing. I want to get back to where they have, 4 jet car fields. Eddyville, this 4th of July weekend, Eddyville's going to have nitro bike, nitro plane cars, jet cars, and all that. I want to see that night of fire, that midnight mayhem kind of thing come back. So we'll be out there promoting that as much as we can.
Yeah, it'd be cool if you can ever make it up to the Midwest out this way and run your car, man.
Oh, absolutely. And we'll go anywhere we're invited. If we get called out or a track owner calls us, hey, can you come up?
Yeah.
That's one thing. But I unfortunately have a career that doesn't allow me to take off every weekend or even every other weekend and go race. So we have to kind of cherry pick our event.
Well,
just like
you need to come out and visit the legendary Great Lakes Dragway in Union Grove, Wisconsin, at least once, man.
Oh yeah, it's been true that a couple tracks like that one in particular. There's a couple more that are on the list that I definitely want to run down. Go have fun. Because it's a whole unique group of guys. Danny Sullivan, he's another one.
Yeah, he's always that Great Lakes driver.
Yeah, he was a tremendous help back when I was first started. I got Danny 35 years ago, probably, when I was building my first, thinking about building a 34 dragster.
Yeah,
he's still out there.
Yeah, he's got 2 Chicago Rush jets.
Yep. I love to see some of the older guys out there still doing it, and that's what I mean. I want to get that camaraderie back too. So I'd love to go catch up with some old faces.
Yeah, the wife and I were at Great Lakes on Memorial Day weekend on 27th. We saw Danny, Scotty Heach, Hot Blade. I don't know who the driver is for the Hot Blade.
Yeah.
Brian Richter with his hypersonic jet funny car, and Brian Mitchell with his jet funny car.
Yeah. The problem is you don't see a lot of those names come this far in Midwest. Just there's this to draw. Maybe it's not enough money. I'm not sure, but that's one thing that we're going to try to push with this new track is, and I'm not really sure how to do it, but I believe my angle is going to kind of be jet car, match racing, what have you. I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but hopefully I can call out some of these guys and they'll come on over. We'll race for pay. So the winner gets both guys money. I think that would probably draw.
Then on July 1st.
Scotty Heat, you're not.
On July 1st, they have a big jet spectacular at Great Lakes Drag, but I'm not sure how many jets they're actually going to be running.
I bet you they got at least 4, huh?
Yeah, at least.
Drag shirt, 2 funny bears. But you'll see it in Salt Lake, in some of the larger, some of the larger tracks, the multiple jet car fields. Typically in the Midwest, you get to, so it's even more critical that we put on a good show. We try to do an excellent show. Try to be good kids, giving out stickers and T-shirts and hero cards, and trying to explain to all the kids how we got into it, how they should, what their next step should be if they want to try to do it themselves. We'll be out at Eddyville Friday mid-afternoon, and probably won't leave until Saturday to midnight. But come on out and see it.
So after the Queen of Diamonds match race, what else you got planned for the year? Anything?
We have one event that we want to do out in Kearney, Nebraska, and that's just more personal because that's where I'm from. That's more family-oriented kind of thing. They have a cruise night out in Kearney, and we'd like to go out to that event. They'll have the Rocky Mountain big shifters, that kind of thing. But no, we do not have anything planned. I want to take it kind of one at a time right now, see how we do. Queen of Diamonds, then we'll go and you need to go run a few laps, tune the car, so we might just do some local things. There's a few 8-mile tracks right around our place. I figure if you could get your 60-foot time under a second, get your 8-mile and over 200 mile an hour, then the car's there. Then I'll be happy.
Now, Mick, if you were able to go back in time and do something different, what would you do? Anything?
No, I think actually jet car racing was a smart decision.
Would you start jet car? But would you start it earlier than 52 years old?
Well, good idea. Don't get me wrong. I raced when I was 30 years old as well. But definitely would have started earlier. Back when Roger Gustin and all them were in their highlight. That's when I was just getting into it. I would definitely have probably spent more time and effort into the sport and stayed in it. But I don't think I would have done anything. I mean, I wouldn't have gone and embraced any other form. The jet cars was a smart decision because it's a good way to go fast for not a lot of money. Since I built everything, I didn't have a huge expense up front, and I don't have to do very little maintenance in between rounds. So like any of the alcohol and fuel guys, they're constantly changing out valve springs and complete, all the way up to complete engines. Where we're packing the chute, we spend our largest budget probably baby powder, static out of the chute, and change the oil once in a while. I think I would have stayed with jet cars as the form of racing. I think that was a smart decision. Maybe would have thought a few things out a little more before you jumped in at the end of it. I made a few mistakes, Fortunately, no, nothing was ever hurt. No one was ever hurt. But that's how you learn. That I think I get just as much rush out of learning by doing. So I put a jet engine together. Oh my gosh, it runs. It runs pretty good. Hey, you should put this in the car. I get more of a thrill out of that, I believe, definitely than I would buying a car or driving somebody else's car. That has no appeal to me whatsoever. And then I gotta say, Dave, appreciate guys like you out there promoting this, doing these interviews and helping the sport itself along. I do appreciate that. Thank you for doing this.
No, that's no problem. I'm happy to promote you guys.
Yeah, because any more content, the more people hear about it, the more intrigued they get. I'm amazed that just today I met someone who didn't really have any clue what I was talking about. But then after I explained it a little bit, there was a light bulb that went off, and he thought, I want to see that. That kind of sounds cool. I can't believe they've never seen it or heard of it before. Well, I guess shame on us. We're not doing enough. We're not doing enough to promote it. We need to get more television time. So the internet nowadays, awesome. We are. From guys like you, we are. So thank you.
Now, do you have any hobbies outside of jet driving, Mick?
No, it engulfs every living moment, every extra dollar. So, no. Unfortunately, I'm poster child for ADD, so I cannot have too many outside extracurricular hobbies activities because I would never be able to focus on any one of them. I have to try to focus on one, and this is it. And I love it, and I probably will do it till I'm too old. I'll be like that Captain Jack Stewart. They'll have to set me in the car and pull me back out. But I'm gonna love it until I'm so old they won't let me do it anymore.
Now you're a married guy or a single guy?
I am single. I have a girlfriend. Her name's Kim.
Is she supportive?
Yes, she does. She likes as I like, which is good enough for me. She actually packed my parachute, so I put a lot of faith in her, and it keeps her out of trouble.
That's good.
So it's a huge, but like you say, you have to have a support. I have that network, Chad, and my kids, Kim, and a group of other drivers. Without them, I can't get in the car myself. Right. I can't strap in. I have to have someone to help.
Exactly. So what's your favorite music, Mick?
Oh, classic. Led Zeppelin.
The classic classic rocker.
Classic rock.
Yeah.
But I like everything. I have Pandora now, so I've opened my horizon the last few years. So, Jack White, Rick Contours. There's a lot of music out there that I like that I've never heard before. So I like anything and everything. Maybe not country western so much, but just about everything else.
So do you got any music that like gets you in the mood before you run that jet car down the track?
No, I'm kind of the opposite. I cannot do that. I have to zone out, focus, be quiet in my head. I got to quiet my head before I can drive the car. Some guys, I know there's a couple of them. I think Rosberg is one of them that has to crank out a specific song. I can't do that. I have to be quiet and think, and rehearse the process in my head a couple times to calm myself so that the last thing you want to do is go up there in front of 20,000 people and blunder, just forget to light the pipe or something.
Right. So what's Mick McCormick's favorite food?
Thai.
Thai is your favorite food?
I love Thai. I love most Asian. Give me a good steak any day.
Hey, I love shish kebab.
My wife said she loves shish kebab.
Is she Thai?
No, we just...
I love shish kebab.
My mom just made some shish kebabs in the backyard.
Yeah. Hopefully you have big old portobello mushrooms.
Happy Father's Day.
You don't have no...
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. You still got a dad, Dave?
No, he passed away in 2011.
But Dave's a dad.
I got a 20-year-old.
Dave's a dad, though?
Yeah, I got a 20-year-old.
20-year-old?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't look old enough to have 20-year-old. Well, happy Father's Day.
Thank you. Everybody says I look like I'm in my 30s.
No, that's good.
I'm 49. I turned 49 April 14th. I turned 49.
Oh, well, good for you. Be back to like your 30s.
Yeah.
But no.
No. Besides pie, though, what kind of food's your favorite, like main dish?
Ribeye steak, potatoes, up from the Midwest. Shish kebab. Love shish kebab as long as there's portobello mushrooms on. Did your mom put portobello mushrooms on my shish kebab?
Yeah. Onions and green pepper.
Oh, yeah.
Green pepper, yeah.
Yeah. No, we're going to grill out this evening ourselves. So happy Father's Day to all of you out there.
Yes, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there listening to this.
Especially the single dads. I can feel you.
And everybody out there, go out and see jet cars this summer.
Yeah, you got to see the jet cars run. If you have no clue, then you owe it to yourself to at least go see them once. Bring
the whole family, bring the kids, get them out the video games, and take them to they'll love it.
Yeah. Yeah, but most of the tracks will encourage it by offering free admission for the kids. So bring them on out. If you can't afford it, make sure you talk to the drivers because the both will get you in.
Oh, yeah, then you go drag racing, you can get to the pits and meet the drivers. It's not like the NASCAR where you can't get to nobody.
Yeah, you want to go up and touch a Formula One car, you can't even get close. That's another neat thing about drag racing is they've always kept it open. Everyone's accessible, and most of the racers appreciate it, so they're welcome. Bring you into the pit, explain. As long as they're not trash to get ready for the next round, they'll give you a minute or a half an hour.
Yeah.
And we just got a bunch of hero cards made, T-shirts, because we truly believe that's part of the show. We owe it to the spectators to do some swag.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Mick, I want to thank you for your time for the interview.
Well, thank you for doing this, Dave. I appreciate it. we'll talk again next year, and I'll tell you how I thrashed on Sarah.
Yeah, hopefully that's the case.
hopefully she's not listening. I'm just kidding.
Hopefully that's the case that you do win.
All righty. Hey, thank you, sir. Have a good day. Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye-bye.